Hey everybody, how we doing? Tink here for another edition of Tinker Tuesday. How's everybody's Tuesday been? It's not too bad here. A little slow. It's that time of year where it starts getting cold and rainy and cruddy out. No one wants to be out. No one wants to do anything. So it's a great time to be inside and monkey with little tiny trucks. So tonight we're going to look at the different cages that we have for the SCX24s. We're going to look at our modular cages we have. Like I've got on the back of the Hobgoblin here and on the back of the Power Wagon here. And then we're going to look at our different one-piece printed cages we have too. Right now we're offering these three again, our flatbed, the double bump, and the slant back. And with the modular cages, we've got three different versions. Can't remember the name off the top of my head for this one. I should have wrote it down. But this is a slick back. And then we've got the low boy cage. Hey, Rockwolf, what's up? Not much. Just hanging out on Tuesday. What are you up to? So, where should we start? Plus, I know how we'll do this. So, in a bit, we'll have you guys pick one of these three cages. And we'll put it on Gladiatorius. He's pretty rough from the last season of KO24 off-road. The Baja bed he had's just destroyed. I got new mounts on him, but I don't have magnets on him yet. So Gladiatorius is ready for a tune-up. Yeah, it's nice weather for cleaning and organizing. So you're saying this one, Rockwolf? That, and while we're messing with stuff, we're going to swap this. This is going to be the one we're going to swap out to the low boy cage. Because I've been printing Ultra Brute bodies again. So I want to set this Ultra Brute up to go on here along with this Demo Goblin. Or Hobgoblin, excuse me. I love this body. So we'll start with just taking this cage off of here. Let me grab my 1.3. Pull these shocks out. Yeah, I'm still running stock shocks on this one, like most of my rigs. I'm not competitive with them though, so it doesn't really matter to me. Although I was down at RC Attic last weekend for a 10th scale comp, and they now have a full hobby shop location, and they have a 24th scale area. In fact, they have the Grand Canyon, well, not Grand Canyon, it's Moab that my good friend Christopher Oshkosh built, and we took to Beat the Creek 2 years ago and had set up in the booth. It was really awesome to see that it's going to have a permanent home, because that was quite a setup for the few that got to see it. Yeah, it was pretty wicked awesome to get to drive on it again. But there's talk of them doing more of the small scale stuff, because they do, they do a Winter Point series down there that I have been running a lot more this year. Being next week will be my second time down there. I usually only make 1 or 2 events, but I don't know, something about it kind of got me hooked this year. And I've had this toy Zuki I've been going to build for years that I got from my good friend Tony. So here's the little mounts for it. See if the camera will do the zoom trick when I want it to. Of course not. They just key right into the frame rails. Key right up into the top of the bed. These actually came fresh off the printer tonight. I got home and realized that I didn't run those because I'd been running other stuff. Get these little bars peeled here. We'll grab some hardware and start running some screws in before we start assembling stuff. Now for this, I am going to cheat and look at how I set my last cage, and I'm going to set this cage the same way. Actually, I wouldn't have even had to have taken the entire cage off to change it. I could have just swapped the bars out. So maybe we'll do that on the Power Wagon to make everything gray again. But yeah, it's just those 6 screws, and now that takes all the bars right off the cage. So where do we have our set? Mid on the 5 holes. And it looks like I used the back and the front because there's 3 holes. And then in the bed itself, there's 5. Then it's keyed on the bottom, so that way you've got full adjustment front and back to make it sit right where you want with your cab. I've only got the single bamboo running now, but as soon as I get ahead on a little bit of stock, these will be on the website and the different rear bars for them. Always, when you've got printed parts, I always advise thread and screw them before you try and put it in. It'll just make your life a lot easier when you're trying to get it on. Instead of trying to hold it there and fight it, I can put all the pressure I need right here on the desk. And I'm going to grab another little favorite tool of mine. Oh, I guess I'm a liar. I was going to grab my body reamer, but it's not where I thought it was, so we'll do it the danger way and just put a little chamfer on the top edge of that hole. That little bit of chamfer will let that screw go in way, way better. Yeah, I love to make stuff adjustable. It's so much better when you put it on to be able to adjust it to fit what you have, and not be like, Shit, this ain't gonna work. Helps us complete our visions that we see in our mind that way, you know what I mean? Without a whole lot of fight. There we go. See, my mic's kicking off, so that must mean that my internet's showing what a crap-ass connection it is tonight. Nice. Those are all set. Now on this, these holes are set for a larger screw. They're set for a M2 thread. And I've got these really awesome M2s I found that are a button head. And they accept a 1.3 driver. Oh, no, back there, that's, I'll have to pull a little closer. It's my laser cut scale garage I did. Hey, Andy, what's happening? I was messing with laser cutters like last winter. And I did this on my laser. I cut it all out. And I'll have to show you guys. It's got a workbench, pegboard. You can see the clock on the wall up there. Windows on that side, 2x4s. Thought it was pretty neat because I wanted to scale garage, but I wanted it quicker. Plus, I was trying to come up with a way to make scale garages for everyone. It'd be easy, you know? It was pretty neat. I got to get another awesome laser. I could adjust the power on it, and with the power adjustability, I can adjust the darkness of the lines. So that way, like, the pegboard stands out and the workbench under it, where, like, the 2x4s are lighter because they're more in the background. I thought about it. I gotta perfect my laser cutting a little bit more. The laser I had took a fall last year, towards the end of winter, and it hasn't really worked right since. So I will have to get a new one if I do. Yeah, I'll pull it up real close and show you here, because this thing is wicked sweet. See the windows? They can make cutouts for the shelf. Extension cord on the wall under my finger. Workbench. Pegboard. Another shelf up top. A ring where I left a cup sitting on it. Another extension cord on this wall. Some windows. Eventually, I'd like to paint it. It'd be way easier with the lines because it'd be just like paint by number. All right, so we're going to put these in. You could put them in either side of the frame, actually. Well, this could go in driver's or passenger side, is what I mean. With either of this facing either direction. We're going to put ours with the slope towards the front. Put another screw in this one here. We'll have this side set. Oh yeah, I could do a gas station too. I really want to get another laser and mess with. It was pretty fun making that. And what I really like is, since it's flat, like, I'll probably make a piece to just hold it together. It would sit on top, but I'm just holding that up with duct tape and put it away. I mean, it doesn't take much room to lay it flat when it's only hardly even a 1/4 inch thick material. Not even a 1/4 inch. I want to get good with the laser, so like where the shelf's marked at on the wall and like the workbench here, I could cut it out. Then you could get a piece to stick in and actually make it 3-dimensional. Which that would be wicked cool. Be awesome, like have the windows cut out and shit. I had a friend who used to make scale backdrops that were some of the most badass things I've ever seen. They were done on vinyl, and they were like 30 inches by almost 5 foot, roughly. Yeah, I could definitely do the 3D version, Rock. That would be freaking awesome. That screw, I should have ran in a little more. We're 90% of the way there. Be a good test. If it breaks, it means my prints should have been stronger. So for our shocks, we were in 3rd hole. I'm going to go 2nd hole, stand it up a little bit more. She did kind of sag in the back. And with putting this hard body cab back on it, that's probably going to definitely add a little bit of weight. I should just, hey, hood with. Awesome, thanks. Audio should be back now. That's all right. All you guys missed out on was the sound of the drill running. Oh yeah, then I had a good little conversation with myself there for a few minutes. Hey Richard, what's happening? There, I'll put it in front of me, so now I'll notice over here if I lose audio. I had it off on my peripheral vision. All right, so we got the base of the cage in there. Now we're going to take our cage bars and start threading some screws in. Then we'll slap it together. And it will take nothing to put this together. I gotta get my son to let the dog in because I'm sure he forgot to bring her back in the house. She'll be all ripping and ready to go since it's a little chilly outside. Let Luna in. It might get real exciting in here in about 30 seconds. I love this DeWalt driver. I will never go without one of these ever again. Someday I'll be cool enough to own 2 of them. Alright, that one is all set. All I gotta do is 2 on the bottom back of this. And it'll be ready to be put on. Neat thing about the way I did this cage is you actually don't even have to take it all the way off to change the bars out. So we'll put it on just like that. We'll do our base first. Find our cab. That's right in front of us. Get it set. And that looks pretty good right there. See what the chances are of me lining it up the first try. Probably slim to none. Ooh, we got one. I feel engagement. See if we can get the second one to go as quick. Oh, sweet. That sounds pretty awesome. Hood whiz. I don't know why Mias didn't just put it all together as one package deal and create a whole truck out of it. That's basically what it is, right? I mean, you replace just about every component on the TRX-4M. It is pretty cool, though. They should just do a package deal where you get all of it. Oh, and that one we missed. Can I get it out? Maybe. I know I've got a magnet. That'll do the job. Sweet. All right, let's not do that again. Hole number 3, not number 4. One more to go on this side. And that is on. That's pretty quick. All right. Now we need some 1.5 by 8mm screws. And these ones we'll probably run in with the driver, and then we'll do all the final tightening by hand. I do have to poke holes out of the back side of this, though. I did forget about that. At least I remembered before I got too far. And then it would have been a pain in the ass. Alright, flop her on her side. And we'll put this first screw in. I'm just going to run it in a bit. I'm not going to torque it down. Now we'll run this one in. I really do need to start thinking about a better camera setup, I think. Something like overhead would be pretty sweet. Passenger side, driver's side. Pop that up through. On that 90% of the way in. Same with our second one here. So one thing that's nice about not having to take this cage off to swap everything out is it's just makes it so easy to switch it to a different style. I think the worst pain is trying to hold the truck in a way so people can kind of half see what I'm doing under here. Yeah, definitely an overhead. Only if I could get the camera to do its magic zoom at the right time when I wanted it to. Alright. Now we'll do all the final tightening by hand, and we'll see that we put too long of a screw in that side. We should have went with a 5mm. So we will pull this one out before we ruin that side. It's been a while since I put one of these on. There's worse ways to find out. At least it's just printed parts and I didn't snap a screw off in an aluminum tube. Yep, 8mm, definitely too long for all of these. There's no settings on it. It's just my Instago 360. It just does it on its own. It just gives me webcam option. Yeah, I totally wrecked that side. I will have to print out a bar real quick for that side. This must have been the only ones that were 8 millimeters long, because that tube is a 4 millimeter diameter. So I would need that length to be able to put at least 4 millimeters of thread into the one behind it. Perfect. Except for the one I broke. Alright, so we will slice one of those up really quick and print it out. And while it prints, we'll do that other cage changeover. Drop that down, drop that down, drop that down. You guys want to see how to slice a file? Might be kind of boring, but so we'll go into Bamboo Lab Studio. Still getting used to the slicer. Oh boy. I'm just gonna mirror it. Oh, duh. I forgot. I need to clone it. Make another one, and then I need to mirror that along Y. I'm not quite used to this slicer yet. I've used Cura for a long time, and I really like Cura a lot. There's nothing wrong with this. I just got to get used to where all the controls are and everything. See, like it's not there. Good enough. Slice those. Sweet. 12 minutes. 17 minutes total with this little special print it does. Or checky deal where it checks everything over. Alright. I just gotta grab an SD card and throw it in because I don't have it set up on my Wi-Fi and stuff. So is anyone hoping for any big releases coming here soon? I mean, we're coming up on the holiday season. It's just the time of year, lots of new trucks and cool shit drops. Like, what's everyone hoping to see? I think I would like to see, well, that new little capper looks pretty cool. I like the new base camp. Well, I more like the price tag than anything. I'd really like to see an Axial SCX24 Gladiator. I've wanted a 6 for a long time, and I've been holding out for a Gladiator. I don't know if I'm going to get it, though. We got to kill one light. Now all we got to do is get this card to read and save, and in about 10 minutes, we'll have new bars to put on. I know one thing I need to do is I need to upgrade my workstation pretty soon. I've been using this one for quite a while. and it is due to be refreshed or replaced. Still works pretty decent though. Awesome. I've got a Mojave Grom. I freaking love it. The BLX version, I bet, is going to be wicked awesome. I thought about getting a Tinker Time Ford. I did have a dent side body I was working on a long time ago on a Bronco I did. I thought about starting to bring some of the printed bodies back. They just weren't going. Maybe I'll just do one or two at a time. Alright, well, shortly we will have some replacement parts. I'm going to take this last jacked up piece off of here. So we need some pliers to hold it. And I'll probably swap that screw out, and then we'll swap that other cage over. Too long, too long, too long. Just right. Oh, the bleeper pointy cage. That was one of my favorite too. Actually, I got one within arm's reach I can pull out. I only ever sold like 5 or 6 of those. I gave away more of them than I sold. The bleeper pointy cage. Let me dull that light down a little bit. Yep, there it is. The bleeper pointy cage. Comes to 3 different points. Points on the rear. This was a wicked awesome cage. I'm really trying to get this cab into production. I love this. Call it the Power Cab 5000. I was listening to Power Band 5000 when I made it, so yeah, and the stacks. This is one of the few of them that's left. This one's pretty much just a shelf queen anymore. It sits there and looks pretty. Thanks, Richard. Yeah, it's definitely different. It's called the Bleeper because of this YouTube channel called Bleep and Jeep, where he built a cage like that for his Comanche. And I was watching that video series at the time. I designed my hardbody Comanche, and I liked that cage, so I did it to, I guess kind of pay homage to what he was doing because it was a wicked cool build. Now, see, if I would have did this one first, I'd have realized what size hardware I needed to use. And I bet we'll have this done way before the printer. barring me losing a bunch of hardware. Number 2, number 3, number 4. Hey, Eminem kid, what's happening tonight? Last one. Yeah, 6 screws. Pops right off. There is a little bit of warp to it, which isn't bad for PLA considering this spent, oh, the 6x6 cage. yeah. Isn't that funny, Richard? Oh yeah, the 6x6 cage. Yeah, I think I only designed that for a guy. He got one, I think maybe one replacement. And yeah, then I never did anything with that one again either. I need to just take my TRX4M and just cut the body in half and start doing some larger scale cages for that and the Ascent. Sweet. Now let's throw this one right on. One. Almost 2. 2. Number 3. I'm going to do an 8 mil on the other side, because I can tell that one's going to fall out. I must have made this one deeper. There we go. Two more. This thing is back on and done. There we go. That took nothing to do at all. Quick, simple swap. 6 screws. Totally new look. This cage does sit a little proud for this body, but it shows you how easy it is to just swap that. I can hear the printer starting, so while that's running, we'll mess with my old clapped out Gladiator here. I love the shit out of this truck. I have ran the hell out of this thing. Really love my rear suspension setup. It was fantastic for the jumps, especially with it being all soft and rested on the front. It would hit air out nice. Had a lot of back weight, so it always just land just perfect. But she has had a rough life. As you can see, there was formerly cage pieces in here that are totally busted out. So we will see if we can get her to come apart or not. And ooh, there we go. We got progress. See, the only thing holding it on is 4 screws through the fender flares here. That one looks like it may not want to come out. She's pretty, ooh, sweet. It's pretty buried in the plastic, but it's coming out. Awesome. Nice. I should I really think I'm going to bring back a lot of the printed stuff I was doing. Because, yeah, those Gladiator bed inserts, the pinched one and the regular one were pretty decent. Let's see if the sound is back. Last screw, and she's free. Yeah, this thing has had a hard life. This is a Gen 1 Gladiator from when Axial first released it years ago. We'll see how it does without the low rig setup in it. I love this setup. I've got this in just about every truck of mine now. Sweet, yeah, it always takes me a minute to realize the sound's gone too, because I'm looking at this and rambling, and then I look up and it's like, you've lost sound. Anyone else pick up a base camp yet? I've been messing with mine a little bit. I adjusted the height of my mag mounts and put my body a little lower. Got a new rear link riser for it I've been working on that I've got in it and I'm running right now. I've got a couple of the team drivers that are going to be testing it out soon and let me know what they think of it, which I need to open that up to start getting some more drivers on Team Tinker time. I gotta come up with a little bit more criteria first. I've been kind of putting that off. I know you said slant bar, Rockwolf. I'm really thinking double bump though. It's my favorite cage. Let's see how the slant bar looks. That looks pretty sweet too. Yeah, I think we'll rock with that one. Now we got to decide which holes we want to use. That's where we need a marker, something to make a dot with. Oh, wow. We got lots of choices. I bet the chances of it starting are slim to none. So we will just make a line underneath it. Underneath both of the ones we want to use. Pre-thread our screws. First one. Second one. I'm just going to guess my mark was off. Because the holes lined up really nice on the back of that. Enough that I really wanted to. I could put 6 bolts in it, but I don't think I will need that many. That one's preset. Last one. We were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7. Awesome. We're set to drop this baby in now. Slide it in like so. I have seen a couple people. I know my one team driver, Chris, he actually took his rails and he's got them mounted in the top row. He says it's working great for him. He's not getting any shock binding, which is awesome. That's one thing I worried about with it, because this upper part does sit about 3/4 to 1 millimeter higher than this bottom section. I found without adding that little bit to it, the shock seemed to bind up because they were splayed out towards the top. Maybe it was just me being overly picky too. There's a good chance on that. I love the simplicity of these cages. Nice, simple, and bolts right on. Now, I don't think I'm going to like this for my shock placement. So for that, I'm betting we're going to have to make adjustments. We're pretty straight up and down. If anything, we might even be tilted a little towards the back. We'll get it all put in and see what we want to do. Honestly, if anything, I'm thinking I'll droop them towards the front right there. All I need is a crossbar. I think that might be the ticket. Just like that. We don't need a crossbar. We got spacers left over. So part of it can live on into the new build. Sweet. Doesn't means we didn't scrap the cage. We just rebuilt it. Still got the original parts, man. Oh, that looks like it's going to be super high. Probably. It's alright. We'll adjust. It's not like it's been ran much. Oh, sweet. We got like that jacked up rear drag look going on. Maybe if we run it in some droop or something. Because that little light body ain't doing nothing for that. We slide our body up a little ways and then adjust our sliders up. And adjust our cage forward 5 millimeters. Replacement parts are almost done. Yep. We'll swap this ahead a whole hole on the frame here. And then we'll adjust the body from there. I can't believe this truck runs sometimes still. Because it has not been treated nicely. It'd be fun to have her together and beat the snot out of it some more, though. There we go. Got one side locked in. Side 2. Yeah, side 1 fully locked now. 2 screws. Looks a little better on the rear tire placement too. Run this side in here real quick. Run this other side in. Awesome. Cage is adjusted. Mag mounts will have to move ahead a few millimeters. That'll be alright though. Do a little more cut here. She could use it anyways. That, or maybe we'll just trim the back window off of this cab. Just bring her back in some. I think that might be what we do. Ooh. Yeah. Let me grab my scissors. I think this is going to work out just right. We're going to take the back of this right off. It almost looked like a Jeep Speed XJ. Now that's something I haven't looked up in a long time, is Jeep Speed. That used to be a pretty cool series. I'm going to switch to score and snap so I can get a cleaner line. Those scissors are just not going to do that part. Lexan scissors are great for some stuff, but not everything. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And snap. Sweet. Score and snap works every time. There we go. I like that. That cage sits perfectly inside of that body. That's fantastic. That's super fantastic right there. I'm glad we went with your choice, Rock Wolf, on the cage. Sweet. Guess what? Printer's done. Means I need to hurry up and slap these shocks in somewhere. Then we can get that cage back together. On the cage, these holes are set pretty good for the shock mounting screws that you usually don't ever have to fight them when you're putting a screw in. It'll usually start for you so you don't have to start these ones on the outside. And then oh, we're getting a little contact with that screw there. There we go. We'll go number 3. Number 3. Sweet. We'll just pretend those are put in there good. Just like we'll pretend it has magnets. There. That looks badass. Nice little chopped gladiator. We definitely will have to do something about that. Oh, that's why. I remember why it's got so much spring now. These are shocks off of a set of double barrels. It was the stiffest shocks in the set. Because that original bed had a ton of weight. It made those shocks sit level. Let me grab the sweet. Hot off the build plate. 2 brand new on me screwed up pieces. We can slap the rest of this low boy cage together, see how she looks, and we'll probably call it a night from there, guys. I just noticed that where I put that was a poor choice because I'm bottoming out on another screw. So we'll adjust that real quick. I don't know if you guys have the joys of teenagers in video games, but it's fantastic to be able to hear them yell at them from their rooms all the time. Makes me think of when I was younger and I used to get pissed at my Super Nintendo and I'd just kick that bitch across the room. Be like, fuck you, you cheating ass game. Boom! He's definitely worse than I am with it, though. Or was. Well, that's alright. He'll get over it. We've all been there. I will say that this ABS is definitely a lot harder. Alright. There's our favorite tool. We can throw this passenger side bar on. And we'll be able to call this project finished. Quick little pre-thread of our holes there. So that way this part should go really easy. Especially since we're not using too long of hardware, I'm going to blow it all out this time. Oh, and our chosen chalk placement looks to be directly in the way. One last screw, and she will be finito. There. And we are done. I give you guys the low boy rear cage. It's super, super low. Yeah, this truck's a wiring mess inside too. I should use the button heads here too. Socket heads are just a bit too pronounced for it. But that there looks fantastic. See if we can adjust the lighting a little bit so it looks, you can see it instead of just reflection and glare. So yeah, that's the low boy modular cage. Paired with a Ultra Brute cab. Unfully mounted Ultra Brute cab. All right. I think we'll call that it for this week, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Tinker Tuesday, checking out some of our rear cages. Post up in the comments what you'd like to see next week. I've really been feeling like painting some bodies. So maybe we'll get into some body painting, talk about how thick some of the newer bodies are compared to the older Lexan I was forming here myself. And I think that's all I got for you guys tonight. I will check you guys all on the flip side. Have a good night, y'all. Later.